Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our Fosak TV USA. Here's the breaking news. New strikes hit the outskirts of the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, and explosions have been heard in the western city of Lviv. One person has been killed and several wounded in the strikes. Kyiv's Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says. Russia's defense ministry says the missile strikes targeted a military plant in the capital Kyiv. Russia is planning to restrict access to Mariupol from Monday, city officials say. Russia has banned UK PM Boris Johnson and other senior ministers from entering Russia over the country's hostile stance on the war. Moscow formally warns of unpredictable consequences if the US and allies keep supplying weapons to Ukraine. President Vladimir Zelensky says the world should be prepared for the possibility Russia will target Ukraine with a nuclear strike. The Kremlin previously said it would only resort to nuclear weapons if faced with an existential threat. Kyiv police chief says 900 civilians have been found dead in towns around the capital after Russian troops left. The Foreign Office has not yet responded directly to today's banning of 13 UK politicians from Russia, but a government spokesperson issued a statement denouncing the Russia invasion. The UK and our international partners stand united in condemning the Russian government's reprehensible actions in Ukraine and calling for the Kremlin to stop the war, the spokesperson said. We remain resolute in our support for Ukraine. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Foreign Secretary Liz Truss were among those barred from entering Russia over what Moscow called their hostile stance on the Ukraine conflict. Russia said it would expand the list of banned individuals. Officials say Western sanctions imposed on Russia since 24th February represent the most serious measures ever imposed on any major economy. In a statement announcing its travel bans, Russia's foreign ministry accused London of an unbridled information and political campaign aimed at isolating Russia internationally, creating conditions for containing our country and strangling the domestic economy. UK sanctions, including assets freezes on Russian President Vladimir Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, asset freezes and travel bans on Russian oligarchs, and sanctions against more than 1,200 individuals and entities close to Mr. Putin. Many of these sanctions include travel bans. Ukrainian fighters who remain in Mariupol and refuse to surrender will be eliminated, the head of the Russian-backed Donetsk People's Republic said. Russian allied soldiers are close to capturing the southern city of Mariupol, but Ukrainian forces are thought to be resisting the onslaught from the port area and the Azovstal factory, a massive iron and steel plant. Videos have emerged of Ukrainian forces vowing not to surrender their position. This week, Moscow said more than 1,000 Ukrainian Marines had surrendered in Mariupol, but Ukraine denied the claim. Talking to the journalist in Mariupol, DPO had denied. Postman said those members of the regular army, like the Marines you have seen, who are prepared to surrender, have surrendered. Whereas the nationalists, that is members of the nationalist battalions, it appears have no intention of surrendering. That is why they are to be eliminated. Footage of Mr. Pushalain making the statement, standing next to Chechen politician Adam and surrounded by troops, was broadcast on Russian news channel Russia 24. Mariupol lies in territory claimed by the so-called DPR and is of strategic significance to the Russian army as it seeks to establish a line route between Crimea in the west and Donbass in the east. Yes, Olia Neokolana pokes out her tongue. We don't sell Russian caviar. All Ukrainian, she exclaims proudly, waving her hand over the colorful tins that fill her stall. The day the war began, Kyiv's Besarbaski market locked its door 3 days ago. It finally reopened. Much of it is still dark and empty, but a trickle of customers are browsing the jarred pickles, meat, and fresh food. It is have been heard earning money with everything closed, says Olia. Most people have not returned yet. They are afraid. As Russian threats to Kyiv renew, Savaltala Mykolaiv tells me the sea shelters in the basement when the year rates are so on. We still worry a lot, but really slowly life is coming back to a kind of normality. Small shops and cafes are starting to reopen. You can see the teeny changes. I don't know why the Russian hate us so much. Olia adds, we are a hospitable nation, happy to have guests, but not the ones that bomb you at 4 a.m. Beyond the report for Shakti USA.